Hi everyone, I'm Brenda from 21st Yoga in Salt Lake City. I'm teaching Pilates today, and we will be focusing on the abdominals along with some spinal mobilization and some spinal stabilization. For props, you'll need a ball. If you don't have a ball, a small pillow will do if you have one of those, and a TheraBand. Again, if you don't have a TheraBand, a yoga strap will do, or an old belt. Let's begin. So we're going to start with a breathing exercise. Again, if you have a TheraBand, you can wrap that around your rib cage, and you'll take the opposite end to the opposite hand. So your right end will go to your left hand, and then your left hand will go to your right hand. So you'll have the feedback from the band. If you don't have a TheraBand, you're welcome just to bring your hands to the sides of your rib cage. But what we're going to do here is we're going to think about breathing laterally and posteriorly behind us with our breath. So as you inhale through the nose, you're going to think about opening up that TheraBand or your rib cage three-dimensionally. And then as you exhale out through the mouth, you're going to pull that band and feel the rib cage hug in and up. And again, if you just have your hands, you're still thinking about that rib cage going in and up. Taking a few more of those, here we go. Inhale, feeling the three-dimensionality of the rib cage. And big exhale, emptying the lungs out through the mouth. Feel that rib cage hug in and up. Again, inhaling in through the nose, feeling the back side, the sides of the rib cage as well as the front. And big exhale out through the mouth. The rib cage lifts in and up. A few more here. Inhaling in through the nose. Fill up that rib cage three-dimensionally. Feel your rib cage expand. Feel your band stretch. Feel your hands fill up with your ribs. And big exhale out through the mouth. Fog up the mirror. Feel the abdominals and the rib cage hug in and up. Last few here, again with the hands perhaps. Inhale, filling up that rib cage, stretching that intercostal tissue between the ribs. And big exhale out through the mouth. And really try to get every last drop of air out of your lungs. Again, inhaling. And big exhale. Last one like that. Inhaling, filling up the rib cage, filling up all 5 lobes of your lungs as much as you can, the front, the sides, the backs. Hold the in-breath at the top. And then as you exhale, really emptying the lungs. Feel the rib cage hug in and up. And you should feel your abdominals engage as you push every last drop of air out of your lungs. Great job, everybody. All right, from there, we're going to make our way over onto our back. Have your ball or pillow nearby. And we're going to try to keep that full three-dimensional breath as we go into some of our Pilates work here. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a triangle with the hands, okay? You're going to take that triangle and you're going to put the tip of the triangle down at your pubic bone, and then one hand to your hip bone that kind of sticks out in the front, and then the other hand that sticks out on your opposite hip bone. So if you were looking at me from the top, you would see that I truly have my fingertips down on that pubic bone, and my hands are really on those little sticky out hip bones. So if that triangle is flat and parallel to the ceiling here, we would call that a neutral pelvis or a neutral lumbar spine. If the tip of the triangle points up towards the ceiling and we rock the pelvis, the low back then comes down to the mat. This pubic bone and the tailbone are pointing up towards the ceiling, and we would call that flexion of the lumbar spine, okay? Then if we rock the pelvis the other direction, the tip of the triangle pointing down to the ground, the curvature in our spine has increased, and we would call that extension. So we're just going to move through these places here. We're going to inhale, rock the pelvis, tip of the triangle goes up to the ceiling, and then big exhale out through your mouth, empty your lungs. Tip of the triangle goes all the way down to the floor, curvature in the spine increases. Going a little quicker now, big inhale in through the nose. Feel your sit bones cup up to your femurs, feel the low abs scoop in as you rock the pelvis and point the tailbone, pubic bone up to the ceiling. And then big exhale, you're gonna rock the other way, really go as far as you can. Maybe even a little hyperextension. And we'll take a few more of those. Here, we're going to go ahead and inhale, rotate. You can bring your arms down by the sides if that feels better. You can also keep your triangle if that helps. Big exhale. Just a few more of these pelvic tilts. Inhale, rock the pelvis, cup sit bones up to femurs, low abs scoop. And big exhale. Really try to let your hips kind of release and fold in the front as you go. Last one here, inhale, rotate the pelvis, feel the low glutes engage to help cup those sit bones up. Low abs scoop in. And last time, rolling through neutral to extension, through hyperextension. And then go to where neutral feels. Where does it feel like your pelvis is neutral? You should have just a little space between your low back and the mat. However, the rib cage is not arched and splayed away. You want to feel the bottom of the rib cage on the mat, okay? So the tendency for a lot of us is when things get hard, we brace away from the mat, but really that rib cage thoracic spine should stay settled back. You can check if you'd like to see if you're neutral, but no worries, just be where neutral feels, okay? Now from here, what you're going to do is you're going to now take your ball or pillow. You're going to place it underneath your pelvis. It's going to be where your sacrum is, which is the flat bone at the base of your spine. It's kind of at the top of your booty crack and a few inches above. And again, you want to be neutral. Okay, so we have that neutral pelvis. Now what's difficult about being on the ball, we're going to start moving the legs, and we're going to try our very best to not let our tailbone, pubic bone point up to the ceiling or down to the ground. We're going to try our best to keep that triangle really still, the pelvis really still. You can even bring your hands to the sides of your pelvis and have them act as like a vice to kind of remind you to keep the pelvis still. So from here, you're going to stand down through your right foot and really try to engage the low glutes and the heads of the hamstrings, so you're stabilizing through that side. And then you're going to inhale, lift the other leg up. Try your best to not shift your weight on the ball or pillow. On your next exhale, you'll lower the leg down, and we're going to do 4 more on this side. Inhale as you lift, low abs are scooping in, navel to spine, but pelvis isn't rocking. Exhale, lower down. Come back to your breath. Inhale, try to feel just your femur head move inside of the hip socket. Exhale, lowering down. So we're really trying to keep the pelvis and the legs separate. A leg is a leg, a butt is a butt. If I went to the butcher shop, I just bought the leg of lamb, I didn't buy the rump. So we're just moving our leg, our rump is staying still. Last one here. And then you'll go ahead and you'll stand down through that leg that you were just moving. Again, try to feel an activation behind the leg. So the hamstrings and the low glutes at the sit bone area. Really push down through that foot. Again, stabilize through the pelvis. Stay very still on the ball. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Big inhale in through the nose. Big exhale, empty the lungs. And again, really stabilizing the pelvis. And for me, on this side, I tend to allow my pelvis to sort of rotate this way, away from the ball. So try to feel all the edges of your sacrum weighted on the ball or pillow. And you could also just do this on the floor. In fact, if it bothers your low back at all, take the ball or pillow away and just do it down on the mat. Last one here. Inhale as you lift. Big exhale as you lower down. So that wasn't so difficult, right? It was manageable. So now we're just going to make it a little bit more difficult. So do bring your arms down by the sides. Feel your fingers spread and your palms on the mat. You may even want to think about your hands as if they were suction cups and you're pulling the mat into your back armpit to activate your tricep and a little bit of your rotator cuff in the back armpit there. Then you're going to inhale, pick up the first leg. Exhale, leave it there. And then inhale, pick up the second leg. Exhale, press the inner thighs together. Try to balance on the pillow or ball. Keep yourself very still. And I'm kind of thinking about those hip bones we were talking about earlier, like I'm bringing them together. So my low abs are really scooping in towards my midline as I'm here. Yeah? And we're breathing. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Big inhale in through the nose. Big exhale fully out through the mouth. Now, allow the heels to come down towards your sit bones. We're not changing our knee flexion, we're changing our hip again. And once again, staying very still on the ball, keeping the pelvis stable, just moving that right femur head in the socket to extend the hip, take the leg towards the mat, turn the toes towards the mat, exhale, recover back to where you were. And we're going to alternate. Inhale, lowering, exhale, recovering up. Really try to keep all the edges of your sacrum equally weighted on the ball. Because what happens is, sometimes when the leg goes away, we want to spill like I'm doing here, which is incorrect. This is what you should not do. Or we tuck as we bring it up, so then we're leveraging off the low back instead of our abs. Go ahead and take one more set here. Inhale, right lowers. Exhale, recover. Inhale, left lowers. Exhale, recover. And then go ahead and bring one foot down, the other foot down. And then just take a couple of those little pelvic tilts that we did at the beginning, right? The tailbone and the pubic bone go up to the ceiling. Big exhale, the tailbone and the pubic bone go down to the floor. And just explore the range of motion you have. If you're getting any pain, remember to come off the ball or the pillow, but also shorten your range of motion. They don't have to be huge, yeah? They don't have to be huge. That was a joke, sorry. One more here. And then you're going to stay set neutral again. So again, if you want to check in with the triangle to make sure that you are, you can. If you want to just go where it feels neutral, that's really fine too. But what I want you to do now is to allow your pelvis to rotate, yeah, towards your screen and then back to center. And then rotate away from your screen and back to center. Add in some breath. So just letting yourself move on the ball, mobilizing gently through that lumbar spine, letting it rotate a little. But most of that movement's coming from the pelvis. So the pelvis goes, and then we allow the low back to follow. Go ahead and take one more, going away from the screen. Good. Now, we're almost done with this balancing on the ball stuff. Come back to bringing those hands spread and pulling in. So there's that sense of holding the mat into your back armpit. Neutral spine, you're going to scoop the navel to the spine. You're also going to think about squeezing your urine control muscle. Like if you were stopping your pee midstream, you're going to squeeze that so your low pelvic floor is active. Then you're going to inhale, pick up that right leg like we did before. Exhale. Inhale, pick up the left. Exhale. Now again, check in with that rib cage. Make sure you haven't splayed away. Now I want you to imagine that you have a little zipper of muscle that goes from your pubic bone all the way up to the base of your sternum, maybe even all the way up to your throat. And you're going to think about lifting that up as you flex your feet. You're going to inhale, take one leg out 45 degrees from the floor, lift your zipper line up towards your face oppositionally. Exhale, bend it back into 90 degrees. And again with the other leg, inhale, big exhale. One more each side like that. Inhale, zipper line lifts as your hip and leg reach away from your lifting abs and zipper line. Last one, inhale, exhale. Now, if that felt easy or accessible, you could make it a little harder by using both legs now. Inhale, both legs go out. Zipper line lifts, exhale, empty your lungs. Inhale, lift your zipper line, legs and hips stand out away from your lifting abs. Exhale, return. Last couple here, you guys. Inhale, 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 lift abs, legs and hips, reach out. Big exhale, keep holding that mat into you as well. Keep feeling that rib cage settle back. Last one, so many things to think about. Inhale, 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 inhale. Big exhale. And one leg comes down, the other leg comes down. Take a few tilts, whether that is that first thing that we started with, the little flexion and extension. You can also do that little bit of rotation side to side if that feels better. And if you want to get really creative, you can do some little circles. Yeah. Go ahead and take a few more breaths here. And then we'll actually start to move into our Pilates exercises. Those are all setups to kind of teach us some concepts that we would need later on in class. So you're going to go ahead and stand down through your feet, activate hips and the back of the leg. Lift your hips up off the ball or pillow and take that out from underneath you. Set it aside. So now we're going to address the upper ab curl. And what needs to happen is, yes, there's flexion in the cervical spine and the neck, but we really want to think about bending through our upper thoracic spine behind the sternum. If we don't bend there, you can see I'm just in my neck. And then I'm in my neck all day, okay? So your hand placement, you want to really lace the fingers and put it behind your skull. Your thumbs will be at the base of your occipital bones, at the base of the skull there. You're not lifting your head forward. The hands are actually a point of contact that you're letting your head rest back to. So, if you have your pillow or ball and you tend to get in your quad and then grip through the quad, I'm going to suggest that you place the ball between your inner thighs or the pillow between your inner thighs so you activate your adductors and almost feel like you're slightly internally rotating your femurs on the ball. You're going to take those laced fingers and place them behind your head. So your head is already lifted about a half an inch off the floor probably, so you don't really need to lift your head up, right? Because what happens is I'm loading at C6, C7 back here. So you're going to tilt your nostrils towards your sternum, slightly engage the deep neck flexors in your throat there. And then you're going to lift and bend. You're trying to bend the vertebra behind each part of your sternum. And as you get to the top, your head is not going forward, it's resting back. So you're kind of like in a bathtub, kind of going up the slope of a bathtub. Now feel the base of your sternum up towards your pubic bone. The base of the shoulder blades, the bra line area for the ladies out there, or gentlemen, is lifting up, okay? Your forearms are lifting up. I feel like I'm balancing a glass of water on this forearm and on this forearm and on my head. And then I'm lifting my ribcage thoracic up to it. And you can see I have a little quiver going on. I call that the quiver of truth. That means I'm in the right spot. And then as I roll down, I'm going to try my best to reconnect each vertebra to the mat one at a time. So there's that sequential movement. So let's try that together. If you did it with me, awesome. Watch the elbows don't get too wide on this one. Think about them kind of coming in and up, like I'm almost scooping up from the back of my scapula here. All right, here we go. We inhale, tilt nostrils to sternum. Now for me, I like to exhale right here as I finish coming up. That gives me a little more bend and mobility through those upper thoracics. Where I feel it the most is here, kind of in those upper abs. Again, head is standing up to ceiling. My rib cage bra line is lifting up to the crown of my head. My forearms are lifting up to the ceiling. My back armpits are as well. On your next exhale, roll down. I know it's hard to stay there that long, right? And we'll take that one more time a little quicker. Here we go. Inhale as you start to roll up. Big exhale. Soften through sternum cleavage bra line. Lift. And on your next inhale, lift a little higher. Feel that base of the sternum to the pubic bone. And exhale, roll down one vertebra at a time. So that upper ab curl we will do a lot in many of the exercises. So go ahead and, if you, again, you can keep your ball if you need it, or you can set it aside. We're going to go ahead and come back to that neutral pelvis that we talked about. Feel the rib cage on the mat, right? Not splaying away. You're going to inhale, pick up your right leg. Exhale. Inhale, pick up the other leg to join. Press the inner thighs together. Imagine you have a $100 bill between your knees, or have your ball, okay? You're going to place your hands on your knees. You can allow your feet to come down to your sit bones. You're going to push down with your hands and then oppositionally push up with your knees. And if you look down at my low glute head of hamstring area, you'll actually see my sit bones and low glutes kind of cup up. So as you push down with your hands and up with your knees, you're going to feel like your hips down through here, your underbutt area, lifting up to your hands, up to the ceiling. And I also feel a little low abs as well. So now keeping that, squeeze your ball, squeeze your $100 bill, hips up to hands. Inhale, roll up into your upper ab curl. Head, neck, exhale, bend through sternum cleavage bra line, upper thoracics. Inhale, bring the arms parallel to the floor. Now you're going to pump your arms up and down 6 to 8 inches. And you're going to inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Big exhale. You can take one hand behind the head if you need it for support. but try to pick up your rib cage and stand it up to the crown of your head. Imagine the crown of your head, you're balancing a glass of water. So you're lifting up to that glass. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, big exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, three-dimensionally filling up the rib cage and the lungs. Big exhale, get every last drop of air out. Get it out. Flatten those abs, flatten navel to spine. Last 2 here. Big exhale. And last one. Big exhale. Go ahead and roll down. Hug your knees to chest. You can set your ball aside for a moment. And then kind of do that rocking side to side with your pelvis that we did earlier on the ball. You could also circle and trace the edges of your sacrum, that flat bone at the base of the spine on the mat. Now that exercise that we just did was called 100. And the reason why it's called 100 is you pump your arms, you inhale for 5, you exhale for 5, and you do 10 breaths or 100 pumps. On your next inhale, you're going to hug your knees in and push your shins to your hands to roll yourself up to seated. Moving right along into a modification or a variation of roll up. You're going to take the ball or pillow if you have it. If not, again, you don't have to have it. You can stay sit bone width apart, but squeeze that ball with the inner thighs. Rock side to side, you want to be on your sit bones. If you're not, lengthen your legs a little bit more away from you. So you have that glass of water on your head again. You're going to think about lifting that zipper line from earlier up towards your base of sternum, throat, and then imagine maybe that you have a back zipper as well. So those zippers are lifting up, okay? Arms are going to extend out, energy through the fingers. And from here, we're going to do that very first pelvic tilt that we did at the beginning of class. You're going to rotate your pelvis underneath you. You're going to curl your sit bones underneath you. You're going to point the tip of your triangle up to the ceiling, all while you keep balancing that glass of water on your head. Now keep rotating your pelvis underneath you until you have your booty crack on the floor. I know, super ladylike. Now you're going to get the sacrum down all the way. We're going to hold here for 1 breath. Inhale, feel the base of your sternum up to your pubic bone. Exhale out through your mouth, scoop your abs, squeeze your ball. Good. Rotate the pelvis underneath you a little bit more. You're going to put the vertebra behind your belly button on the mat. Again, inhale, feel the base of the sternum up to the pubic bone. Exhale, fully scoop your abs flat. Rotate the pelvis underneath you a little bit more. You can grab behind your legs if you need to at this point. Waistband, your natural waistline is coming down. Again, inhale, sternum up to pubic bone. Exhale, empty the lungs. Now coming down to your bottom rib. Inhale. Big exhale. Again, on the inhale, pick that sternum up to the pubic bone. Now we're going to come down to the middle rib, kind of the sports bra line area for the ladies. Again, inhale, feel that pubic bone up to the sternum. Exhale, scoop, 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 scoop. Now we come down to the base of the shoulder blades. Here was our 100 curl. You're still lifting up to the crown of your head. Base of the sternum up to the pubic bone. Exhale, scoop, scoop, scoop your abs. You should be feeling this about now. And then you'll roll all the way down. Try to traction through those vertebrae behind your sternum, 1 vertebra at a time. Neck and head. Okay. Whew. That should have got you. Now, I'm telling you my tendencies. Look at my rib cage. It's already splayed away, right? And if I start here, I'm going to leverage off of that, and that pulls on my neck and my low back, and then I'm not using my abs as efficiently. So really make sure that rib cage is down. And sometimes I actually just pick my rib cage up and move it back. All right, let's start with the arms up to the sky. Stand down through your feet. There's going to be a tendency for the feet to want to pop up off the floor on this one. You're welcome to put ankle weights over your feet or your feet under the couch or something like that. But try to stand down. So there's that activation through the backs of the legs and the hips. Okay, so we're going to roll up and try our best to not skip any of those holding places we just had. Inhale, tilt the nostrils to the sternum, lift the head 1/2 inch. Bend through the neck. Bend through the sternum cleavage bra line. Now exhale, pick up the base of the base of the shoulder blades. Middle rib, bottom rib, waistband, vertebra behind the belly button, that sacrum that is the flat bone at the base of the spine, and tailbone, and then you're back up on your sit bones where you started. How did you do? It's really hard, especially without having anything holding your feet down. So again, really try to stand down and realize you can kind of walk your feet in and away from you if you need to for help. Okay, we're going to do that again without holding. Okay, so we have our arms up. We have our zipper line lifting up on both sides. We have the crown of the head standing up to our imaginary glass of water or whatever beverage you need right now. All right, sit bones cup up underneath the femurs. Feel that pelvis rotate underneath you. Now you got to keep moving your pelvis to put your sacrum down. You got to keep moving your pelvis to put your lumbar spine down. So you're moving your pelvis underneath you until your waistband's on the mat, and then you get to move your rib cage and those thoracic vertebrae, and then the neck and the head. Now this time, if you can maintain connection on the mat with your rib cage, you can bring your arms up, and then inhale as you start, and big exhale as you finish. Base of the shoulder blades. And take another breath if you need it. Take as many breaths as you need it. The breath is supposed to facilitate the movement. It was actually set after Joseph Pilates died. There's lots of variations out there. Inhale, rotate the pelvis underneath you. We'll do this one more time. Keep moving that booty underneath you. Get your butt underneath you. Get your butt to put your low back down. Then move your rib cage. Yes, that's the way. Here we go. Last time, coming up with the knees bent. Inhale, head, neck, sternum, base of the shoulder blades. Exhale, middle rib, bottom rib, waistband, vertebra behind the belly button, sacrum, tailbone, till you're all the way up. And little rest. Like I said, that's a variation of roll up. The first exercise is called a green room sit up, and it's from Kathy Grant. It's an archival exercise. It's a great one. I learned it from Kara Reeser. So give her a little shout out. You're going to go ahead and now move your ball up a little higher up your inner thighs. You're going to flex your feet and push your heels down. So again, your heels are going to want to pop up. So you got to keep that back line active. We're going to go into a spine stretch that will lead us into our full roll up. So you're going to inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, round forward. And you're moving sequentially. Head, neck, sternum, rib cage, brow line, waistband, like you're stretching over a big fit ball. Make sure your head doesn't hang off your spine. So feel the back of the throat up to the ceiling. Now from here, you're going to keep curved as you rotate the pelvis underneath you. There's that pelvic tilt that we started with. Feel your pubic bone curl up to your navel. You're going to keep rotating that pelvis underneath you. Get your low back down before you move your rib cage, and then lengthen the spine out one vertebra at a time. And since we're talking about zippers, I want you to imagine now that your spine and the mat are a zipper, and you're going to unzip your spine one zipper tooth vertebra at a time. Here we go. Inhale, head, neck. Big exhale as you need it. Really try to pick up each vertebra one by one. Push down through your heels. Think about lengthening your spine and your abdominals up out of your standing hips and legs. Rolling back down, pelvis changes. You can think about those landmarks that we did before in the green room sit-up, or you can just think about re-zipping your spine with the mat. One zipper tooth vertebra at a time. Try to feel both sides of your vertebrae though, so that you're not rolling to one side or twisting to one side. Last one here. Inhaling as you start. Big exhale. And again, take another breath. I often take 2 breaths. And then from here, you're just going to roll up to seated, stacking each vertebra one on top of the other like they're little building blocks. And then exhale, bring the arms down. We'll take a couple more spine stretches here since we're here. Inhale, the arms come up, lift the zippers, lift the abdominals. Exhale, rounding over. Head, neck, sternum, rib cage, brow line. Hollow the waist. Bend and flex the spine. Inhale, rolling back up. Now, if you're having a hard time being on your sit bones, you could do this with your legs crossed as well. We'll take 2 more of these. I'm going to do the variation with the legs crossed. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, rounding over. Empty the lungs fully. Traction the spine, hollow the waist. Inhale, stack the spine up sequentially from the bottom, through the middles, through the uppers. And arms open, and as the arms open, I'm thinking about lifting my zippers and my stomach more. Yeah, last one here. Inhale. Fill up those lungs fully, 3-dimensionally. Exhale, curling over. Empty those lungs. You may even hold your out breath here at the bottom, and then inhale, stack back up. Up, up, up. And the arms come out, big exhale. And rest. Good job. All right, we're going to come back to something we did on the ball earlier. This exercise is called footwork, okay? You'll have your hands laced for that little hammock with the thumbs behind your neck head at the base of your skull. Your elbows will slightly be in and up. Again, make sure that your rib cage is down. You're going to inhale, march or piston your right leg up. Exhale, leave it there. Inhale, bring the left leg up to join. Exhale, you're going to turn your legs out into what we call a Pilates V. Now, your knees should only be armpit width apart. And if you look at me here, that's how wide my feet are. I'm not going all the way into my full external rotation, okay? You want to keep a little bit of inner thigh engagement. So, all that fun stuff. Remember those little leg extensions we did on the ball. That's what we're going to do here, but we're going to add an upper ab curl to it. So we're going to inhale, roll up, head, neck. Big exhale as you bend through those vertebrae behind the sternum. Lift the base of the shoulder, lift the mid-rib, I should say, up to the crown of the head. Then keeping that beautiful upper ab curl, you're going to inhale, lengthen the legs out. Hips, then knees, then feet. The zipper line lifts up to your face oppositionally. Exhale, bend the knees in. Again, inhale, extend your hip, extend your knees, reach to your feet, and then think about bending your knees and bringing your heels into your sit bones. Yeah, a couple more like that. Inhale, lengthening out, hips, knees, feet. Big exhale, empty the lungs, haul the waist, try to lift up more into that upper ab curl. Yeah, last one like that. Inhale, lengthening out, hips, knees, feet. Take a big exhale as you roll down. And then you're going to come into parallel. Press the inner thighs together, dome and cup the feet. Okay, so this is called bird on a perch. It's like you have a little perch underneath your feet. You're going to roll back up, inhale, head, neck, bend through the sternum. Lift up out of the bra line, ladies, gentlemen, pick up that middle rib. Inhale again, lengthening out. Try to extend your hip first, then your knee, then reach to your heels. And then exhale, bend the knees. Try to engage the hamstrings as much as you can to bring the heels back into the sit bones. Again, inhale, lengthening out. Big exhale, full, full, full exhale. Get all the air out. Last few here. Inhale, 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 inhale. Big exhale. Yes. Last one here. Inhale, 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 inhale. Big exhale. Now stay up in your upper ab curl. Flex your feet. Again, hip changes, then knee, then reach to the heels. Exhale, bend the knees, engage the back of the legs, lift up out of the base of the shoulder blades. Last few here. Inhale, big exhale. And again, we're trying to keep that pelvis fairly still as you take the legs out. As they come in, you could maybe let it flex a little bit at the end. Last one here. Inhale, big exhale. And then the legs will go straight up to the ceiling. Feel your hips lift up to your feet as you point and flex. Yeah, so those hips are lifting up like they were in our 100 earlier. Yep, hands can still be behind the head. Last couple here. Inhale, exhale. Last one. Inhale, big exhale. Hug your knees into your chest. Roll down. Take a couple reset breaths. Do some shifts side to side. You can even bring the feet down if you want to go back to those pelvic tilts. Just a few breaths to kind of reset and put things back together. So, when we were on the ball earlier, we did this little rotation of the pelvis towards the screen, and then a little rotation of the pelvis away from the screen. So we're going to do what's called a crossover now. You're going to open the arms out to a T position. You're going to cross the leg closest to the screen over the other leg, okay? Then from here, you're going to rotate your pelvis away from me and allow your pelvis and your spine, thoracic spine, to follow. Now you're going to look back to your hand towards the screen, towards me. Your shoulder on this side is distally grounding and kind of spreading back. You don't need to jam your shoulder blade down or anything, but you're energetically reaching that tissue oppositionally away from that top knee. Just a nice little spinal twist here. On your next inhale, you're going to stand down through that bottom foot, scoop the abs in, and untwist your spine to come back to where we started. We're going to take 2 more of those going that direction, okay? So again, you are going to rotate your pelvis like we did on the ball earlier. Allow the spine to follow. Allow the rib cage to follow. Feel the oppositional spread through that shoulder pec. Look towards the screen. Allow that twist to go through your neck, perhaps. Then again, draw the navel to the spine. Scoop the abs. Stand down through that bottom foot to come back home. We'll take one more of those. Inhale, pelvis rotates, legs go away from the screen, spine follows, open and spread through the shoulder and the chest. Good. Take a breath here. Big inhale, big exhale. What can you let go of in the exhale? On your next inhale, draw the navel to the spine, stand down through your bottom foot. And then go ahead and uncross, recross the other leg on top, and we'll take 3 coming towards the screen now. So this time you'll look away from me. I just wanted you to be able to see me before, so that's why we went away first. So the pelvis is going to go towards your screen. Spine rotates, allow the pelvis and the rib cage to go along with the legs. And then inhale, draw the navel to the spine, stand down through your bottom foot, really keep those abs scooped to protect your low back. And we'll take 2 more here. Here we go. Inhale, pelvis rotates. Allow the spine and the rib cage to follow. Feel the oppositional line between your shoulder pec and your top knee. Inhale, draw navel to spine. Stand down through your bottom foot. Big exhale as you recover back to your beginning spot. And we'll take 1 more here. Inhale. You guys are doing great. These should feel good though. Big exhale. So mobilizing the spine now and coming back. And then go ahead and uncross. Bring your arms down by your sides. And then just a few of those pelvic tilts as you need. All right, we're going to go into stomach series now, at least most of the stomach series exercises. You're going to go ahead and bring your legs in towards your chest. Now, at the beginning of class, we were on the ball earlier and we were kind of going one leg and the other leg. That's going to apply here. So this is called single leg stretch. Your hands are going to start on your shins. You're going to roll up to the upper ab curl that we've been practicing. You can take one hand behind the head if you feel like you need it for your neck, but you're going to extend one leg and then that hand that was holding that leg in is going to come to the bottom of the other shin. Really hug your knee in. Hip and leg are standing out. Stand up to the crown of your head, and then we're going to switch legs. And we switch, inhale for 2, and then we exhale for 2. And as you go, feel your low abs scoop in and up. Zipper line lifts in and up. Base of the shoulder blade area, brow line is standing up to the crown of the head. We're almost there. Inhale for 2. Big exhale for 2. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. Last breath. Inhale for 2. Exhale for 2. Arms and legs come in. You're back into that little ball position. Double leg stretch. Inhale, the arms are going to come parallel to the floor. The legs go out. Zipper line lifts up. Head stands up to the glass of water. Exhale. We come in. Inhale, keep that zipper line zipped. Don't let your pelvis spill away from you. Exhale. Hug it in. Pick up through that rib cage. Last 3. Inhale, 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 inhale. You're doing great. Big exhale. Eye line is at your pubic bone, so don't look up to the ceiling and put your chin. Inhale, inhale, inhale out. Big exhale in. Last one, everybody. Inhale. And big exhale. Go ahead and roll down. We are going to skip scissors or single straight leg stretch, and we're going to go into a variation of double leg lower lift. So you're in tabletop. Your rib cage is down. You have your neutral pelvis. Allow your heels to come down to your sit bones. Swim your hands behind your head. You have your lace fingers, elbows in and up. Rolling up to your upper ab curl. Inhale. Big exhale at the top. Now the pelvis stays still. Keep your hands behind your head. I just want to see your face. And you're going to lower the legs down with the toes towards the mat. Exhale, recover. If that's too much, you can do one leg and then the other leg. Yeah? But we're hugging our $100 bill. Big exhale. If you're feeling your quads, get your ball or pillow. Last 2. Inhale. Big exhale. Last one. You should be feeling those abs. Stabilize the pelvis. Stabilize the low back. And roll down. And rest. Yeah. Remember, when the legs go away, we don't want to spill and we don't want to really tuck. We want to keep it in the low abs, which we've been doing all through class. So that should have been a review, but just more difficult. Okay, I'm facing away from you for just a second because I want to show you something. We're going to go into elbow to knee. Those of you that have taken class with me before have heard this, but you're going to roll up. You're in that upper ab curl. I'm up. My shoulder, the base of my shoulder blade's here. It's not touching the floor. Okay, I'm rotating my rib cage oblique to go up to the right and, well, I guess it would be up to the left and up to the right, whatever direction. I know the screen kind of flips it. But watch that you're not dropping down to the floor. That's what I want you to avoid, is falling into gravity. You're rotating up, okay? So as we go into this one, I'm actually going to diagonal my body a little bit so you can see my face. You're going to come back up to tabletop. You're going to roll up to your upper ab curl. Okay, now as you rotate, you're going to go up. You're taking your elbow up to your knee, and then you're going to exhale, elbow up to your knee. Inhale, rib cage oblique, twist you. Exhale, rib cage oblique, twist you. Inhale, up. Exhale, up. You're wringing out your torso. Your head and neck are following. Last 2 breaths here. Inhale, exhale. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Find center, roll down, and take a reset breath. And then make your way over onto your stomach for some, you're going to come into Sphinx pose, and then we're going to go into Swan. Swan is very similar to Cobra, but we're going to do this one first. So some extension of the spine. Think about the tops of the feet. You're going to press down through the tops of your feet as you lift up into extension. Okay? I'm pulling my arms back, and I'm lifting my zipper and my abs up. Slightly press your pubic bone down too so you don't backload into your lumbar spine. Okay, so this one. Your head's going to go forward first. Your rib cage is going to go back behind you. So you're actually doing flexion like a cat. Your pelvis will probably lift. You'll feel your low abs. So here I am, I'm in flexion. Now I'm going to extend my spine from the bottom to the top. Sit bones, tailbone, sacrum. I'm pulling my arms back, lifting my abs up as I continue to extend through my lower, middle, upper spine. We're going to take 2 more of those. Head, neck. Rib cage goes back. Big exhale. Low abs lift, pelvis lifts. Inhale, extending through. Tailbone, sacrum, lumbar spine, low thoracic, mid-thoracic, upper thoracic, maybe a little cervical neck, head. Last one here. Head forward. Empty your lungs. Rib cage back. Round the spine, lift the hips. Low abs are active. Tops of the feet are pressing down. Inhale, extending through. From the bottom, through the middles, through the uppers. Really pull the arms back. Open the chest. And rest. Okay, now we're going to go into Swan. If Swan bothers your low back, come back to this one. Okay? So it's a good one. They're both good, but if there's no need to load the back. Okay, so you're going to put your hands by your armpits. Again, rotate your pelvis side to side like we did on the ball. Now it's just the front of the pelvis on the mat, right? Tops of the feet press down. Feel your sit bones cup down to your femurs. I'm slightly pressing my pubic bone down and engaging those low glutes. This is going to give me some distal grounding. I'm lengthening my spine out of my hips. Okay, hands pull back. You're going to lift up the back of the throat. The cue I used to say was flick the marble to the baseboard, but look how much that loads my neck. Yeah, so you're just going to look out a few inches on your mat. Then you're going to extend and lift through your sternum heart, through your costal arch, through your low abs, through your belly button and low abs, through your pubic bone. Now as you come down, think about standing up to your glass of water. You're going out your mat longer. Think up to your glass, up to your glass, up to your glass. So you're not letting gravity push you down. Yeah? Here we go. Inhale, lift. Look just barely out to the edge of your mat. And then extend somewhere else. Extend through your thoracic spine. Maybe a little lumbar. Pick up your low zipper line. Pick up that pubic bone. Big exhale. Stand up to your glass. 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 Last one, everybody. Inhaling up. Hands pull back. Abdominals lift. Big exhale as you come out and down. Think up, up, up. Resist gravity. Go ahead and push to tabletop. You can open your knees wide and come down to a child's pose. Let your head rest to the mat. You can also put your hands underneath your head. If that's too much on your neck or your knees, you can just do some cat here. But do keep pushing down through the tops of the feet. Yeah. Great job. Okay, so from here we're going to go into a little side kick series that has a side plank in it. So I'd like to preface it with, if you have a wrist thing, there'll be times when you may want to do a fist instead. And if you have a shoulder or wrist thing, you may want to come down to your forearm. Just realize I'll be giving you modifications if they're needed, and just please take those. So, hands are going to come behind the head again with that laced grip. You're going to think about hugging your knees together. So I'm engaging my inner thighs even here. So there's a sense of suctioning the mat up in through my inner thighs, up through my low pelvic floor, up through my waistband belly. Okay? Then we're going to side bend over. Okay? You're going over to the left. You're going to keep side bending until you cannot side bend anymore. And then you're going to release that hand down to the mat. Now this is where you'd want to do that fist. Your right leg will then come out to the side, okay? You want to watch that you don't shift over, yeah? Keep most of the weight on that knee. You can also pad the knee with that pillow if you'd like, okay? And then from here, the top of that right foot is forward. We're going to tap, inhale, lift, parallel to the floor, exhale, lower. Kneeling side kicks. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. And as you're moving this leg, you still got to think about this shoulder. I'm thinking about pulling that mat into my back armpit so I'm not sinking into my shoulder neck. Yeah, last two of these. Good, last one. The leg will stay up. Flex the foot. Put your hand on your pelvis now, and then take the leg forward and back. You're going to try to keep the pelvis still. So here's one of those stabilization moments of the spine. Yeah, good. Now as you take the leg back, you can let it extend a little bit after the leg goes back. Just don't lead with the back. So maybe it goes leg and then you open the pelvis. Yeah, one more. Good. Nice. Then you're going to go ahead and bend that knee, place it down, and then from here, you can either be on your forearm, or if that hurts, you can come all the way down, or you can even lie on your pillow, okay? So we're here. We're gonna do some clamshells. Heels are lined up with sit bones. Watch that your feet aren't too far forward, yeah? You have your glass of water, your zipper line's lifting up. Inhale, open the top leg, exhale, close. Now you also wanna be aware of this rib cage on this bottom side here. Don't let it sink, yeah? You wanna feel that bottom oblique and serratus and lat active. We're going to take 3 more here, working the rotators of the hip. Resist gravity as you close. Yeah, it's just like your swan. You're closing, but you're the boss of how quickly that closes. Last one here. Inhale. Big exhale. Then you're going to lift that top leg, working the abductors of the hip and leg here as we pulse up, 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 up. 4 more. 3, keep the abdominal scooped in, your zipper line zipped. Hold it. Now you're going to think of your foot as a little key in a keyhole. You're going to turn the key parallel. Going back to those rotators again. Check in with all your stabilizers. 4, you're breathing, right? Inhale, exhale. Last 2. Last 1. Lower that leg. Step it in front. Extend the bottom leg out. Okay, again, we're stabilizing. You can grab that front ankle. You're going to reach the bottom leg out and up. Hover it. Don't let it touch down. Inhale, exhale. I'm trying to reach that leg out longer to go up and out longer to go down. And again, try to resist gravity. Yes? Last 2. Good. Last one, hold it up there. And then you're going to do a little bend with your knee and then stretch. Little bend, stretch. Lift up through that low abdominal area, even on that under left side. Good. And 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And the little pulses up. 8, 7, tiny, tiny. Reach long. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Great job. We're going to do the whole thing on the other side. Okay? So, coming up, hands behind your head. Squeeze those inner thighs. Feel the adductors engage. Feel the low abs lift up out of your pelvis. On your next inhale, you're going to side bend over. I should slide over a little bit, sorry. Slide over to, or side bend over to the right. Our right hand comes down. The left leg extends out. Here we go. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Breathe. Feel the back of your head in your hand as well, so you're not letting it push you forward. Yeah? Good. And again, I'm reaching out to go up. Out to go up. Don't forget about this shoulder. No sinking into it, yeah? Last 2 here. Last one, keep it up. Flex the foot, hand on the hip. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Breathe. Opening the front of that hip. Doing great, you guys. Last 2. Last one. And then you'll bend that knee in. You'll make your way down to your forearm. Clamshells on the second side. Again, remember, heels end up with the sit bones. Also, watch you're not pushing your triangle up into flexion, right? We're neutral. Have that underside active. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. 6 deep rotators. They go from the greater toe canter to your sit bone. They're contracting and wrapping back to move your leg up in space. Inhale, exhale. Last few. Thank goodness, right? Last one. And then you're going to lift that top leg up. Yeah, make sure your kneecap is pointing straight forward, not up to the ceiling. It's like it's a little eyeball looking at the screen. And pulse it up. Up. Lift through your abs. Core is active. You're still keeping that navel into your spine. And 3, 2, hold it. Key in a key hold. Turn out. Parallel. Inhale. Exhale. And again, the pelvis is still. A leg is a leg, a butt is a butt again. Yep. Last 2. Last 1. Lower it down. You should be feeling those by now. You're going to take that top foot in the front. Extend the bottom leg out. Okay, flexing that bottom leg. You're in more of a straight line here. And then you're going to lift out and up and lower down. And you're going to hover down. I apologize. This side's my weaker side. Okay, so you might notice my first side was much better. My inner thighs, my adductors on this leg hip are much weaker than the other side. It's a common imbalance for a lot of people. So if you're experiencing that as well, just know you're normal-ish. Last 2. Last one, hold it up. Little bend, stretch. Little bend, stretch. And you'll see I got a little shake going on. This is hard for me. 4, 3, don't sink in your shoulder. 2, ground. 1, and then those 8 little pulses up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Make your way to your back. You can take a figure 4 stretch here if you'd like. My lower leg is a lot longer than the width of my pelvis, so I have to go ankle just past my knee, and then you can hug it in. Make sure you're flexing this foot. It engages the muscles around this knee so that the knee doesn't shift laterally and pull on the ligaments. You also want to feel all the edges of your pelvis on the mat. Watch that you're not rotating or extending or tucking. And then once you've established neutral, you're welcome to kind of do that pelvic rock side to side. Just make sure you establish where neutral is first so that you know where to go away from and where to come back to. On your next exhale, release. Do the same thing. The other side. Flex the foot. Hug it in. Neutral pelvis. And again. Side to side rock once you've established your pelvis. You could even do circles. I just think it's really important to know where we're going from so we know where to come back to. So we're mindful and conscious of what we're doing. On your next exhale, release. Good news is we have one exercise left. I hope that ball wasn't in front of my face for too long. And bad news is it's teaser. So some people love teaser, me. Other people hate it because it's really hard. It's similar to boat pose in yoga, okay? So if that helps, you're going to bring your legs to tabletop for this first one, okay? Just in case you've never done it before. You can also do this with one leg, okay? So if you feel like, I'm a little nervous, you're welcome to bring one leg down. Hands are behind the legs. You're going to pull in with your hands and push out with your legs. So there's going to be that isometric contraction again. You're going to nod your chin, start to roll up into your upper ab curl. As you get through the sternum, you're going to start to push your legs away from you to help you up. And then you climb up your legs like you're doing a tree, which we didn't do today, but some of you have probably done that before. Now when you get to the top, you can keep the knees bent and let go, or you can straighten the legs. It's up to you. But you have your glass of water again, okay? First thing that has to move is that pelvis. So you got to rotate the pelvis underneath you. Yeah, I'm multitasking here, so that wasn't a great job. As you roll down, you're going to bend the knees in simultaneously. Okay, we're going to do it just like that one more time, okay? As you get to the top, don't feel like you have to straighten your legs. If you feel your quads or your low back, keep the knees bent. It'll keep the weight of your legs more on your low abs instead of way away from you. All right, so hands push in, legs press out. Nod the chin, push the legs away from you. As you get to kind of that mid-rib, you'll start to climb up. Big exhale out through the mouth. Let go. Look, mom, no hands. Yay. Okay, don't spill your glass of water. Rotate that pelvis underneath you. And you're going to try to keep your legs out this time. So you're rolling your spine away from your standing hips and legs. Hug your knees to your chest. So that should have been a little more difficult. But you can see it's very similar to our roll-up that we did earlier. It's just now we have our legs off the floor. Yeah? Okay, one more. You can have your arms down by your sides. You can also have your legs out straight if you want a really difficult challenge. Otherwise, go stick with what we've been doing or try it from tabletop with your hands not behind your legs. I'll try the full deal here. Here we go. Inhale as you start. Exhale as you finish up. Balance at the top. Feel those thigh bones internally rotate a bit. Lift up to the crown of your head and roll down. And you're rolling your spine away from your standing hips and legs. I'm really trying to send my hips and my legs out to the opposite side of the room. Hug your knees to your chest. And I sort of lied. We have one more exercise because we want to do a rolling exercise to finish. Press your shins to your hands. Roll up to seated. This is called seal. Joseph Pilates believed the rolling exercises cleaned out the lungs, so I'm trying my best to not skip those anymore because I'm really into breath right now. Your hands lace underneath and grab your ankles and your feet are off the floor. It kind of reminds me of a yoga pose, right? So we're here. We're going to have this weight behind the sit bones. So I'm not up on my sit bones, I'm behind. And my triangle is tilted. I'm in a little bit of flexion, okay? Then I'm not going to lean back with my chest. I'm going to rotate my butt underneath me. So I'm rotating my pelvis underneath me to roll back. And then I'm going to exhale up. And then on the balance, I'm going to clap my feet together, which is really coming from my inner thighs, 3 times. Inhale as you rotate the pelvis to roll back. Exhale up. Clap, clap, clap. Inhale, scoop, 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 rotate pelvis. Big exhale, use your exhale to help you up. Clap, clap, clap. Last one here, everybody. Inhale. Big exhale. And if you're feeling adventurous, you're going to take one more and it'll come up to standing. I'll show it to you once, okay? You roll back. You let go. Your feet come to the ground. And you stand up. Try it. I'll do it with you if you want to give it a whirl, yeah? So you roll back the same way. Right here you pause. You're on your shoulder blades. Hands to the mat, feet to the air. You find your squat, you can use your hands, and up you go. Hey, I just wanted to thank you for tuning in.